I believe that men and women are wired very, very differently to begin with. So that men are wired more, I believe, to think more about economical aspects of certain things, whereas women probably would look more from a comfort perspective. So I think that when we're looking at global sustainability, I think the men would try to rationale what the economic issues are going to be before women would. Women would sacrifice a lot more to make sure that we get things right. I think that men would be looking to get the figures right first. When we look at countries that are developing, where populations are living from day to day perhaps and are not in a comfort zone, sustainability is a concept that is very hard to deal with, or to even try and convince your population that this is something they must go along with when they don't have the core basic human, things: food, water, shelter. And I think that Kenya is torn in between the two. We try, and I've seen even with government trying to develop in such a way with sustainability in mind, but I know that when we look at some of the trade-offs we're giving as a country, and I'll take for example the Chinese coming in and doing a lot of development with our roads. In order to build our highways, there were a lot of forest areas that were taken down. This is really basic. A lot of forest areas were taken down, and a lot of the conservationists would be saying, why, and was that necessary, and can we stop that happening? But of course, from an economical point of view, we need to build roads in order for the country to develop. So I think we're in between a rock and a hard place. We're not in that place where we can say every single development in our country must be sustainable. iCow is basically an offline platform designed for mobile phones, for dumb phones, feature phones. And what it does for farmers is we've taken a whole bunch of sustainable agricultural content and contracted it into SMS nuggets. Farmers register on their phones to get this information sent to them. And they register for certain reasons. And I'll give you an example. For example, if you are a farmer who is dealing with livestock, with cows, and you want to build your knowledge, you would register with us by simply dialing 3 numbers, *285#, and then sign in. And we would then send you 3 SMSs a week around the value proposition of best dairy practices, as an example. So you'd get information on when to vaccinate your animals, how to feed your animals properly, hygiene around taking care of your animals, and especially a lot of information around feeding animals properly. Farmers pay, it's 0.03 US cents per SMS, so 12 SMSs a month, which is under $0.50, because that's what they can afford. We did a lot of research before this. We're a social enterprise, we're not an NGO. I never wanted to develop anything that we would run out of funds and take away from farmers, because I know that this would become a tool people would rely on. At the end of the day, I actually think that what we should be doing, what we should be looking at, products like mine and even others, is partnering with organizations that can help us to deliver more information to farmers. They already want to pay for it. We already know they want to learn. We already know that it's having an impact, but the impact can be accelerated by them getting more information over a shorter time. And interestingly enough, what farmers do with this information is they write it down. The phones we're looking at, the majority have got dumb phones like Nokias. They're not smartphones. Their storage capacity is not very high. So they take these messages and they write them in a book. And we code them as they send them, because some of them sign up for information on chickens, information on cows, information on soils. We code the messages, so wherever they get them and they write them in their book, they have pages where it's just chickens, pages where it's just cows. And sometimes the information we're sending is not even relevant to the problem they have then, but they may have the problem later. What we're actually doing is allowing farmers to archive and write their own agricultural books all over the country, which no other form of communication allows you to do. If you look at radio, it's on, it's off, and farmers can't record it. TV is the same. So as basic as it sounds, SMS actually allows you to drip feed books to farmers. We're currently doing iCow 2.0, and that will be a platform that will enable us to scale across the world. We've had a lot of requests from many developing countries. iCow currently is in English and Kiswahili. The new platform will be bilingual in multilingual, many different languages, and we're looking at partnering with different MNOs in different countries and different governments so that we can actually roll it out across the developing world. I think that what we've got is we've got development agencies with money. We've got technocrats who know how to do M&E, how to monitor, how to write policy and do all these kinds of things. And then you've got people who actually do action on the ground. I'm one of those people. Bunker is one of those people. Vandana is one of those people. I believe that the people that do the things on the ground find it the hardest, and through rain and hail, basically make sure, because of their passion, that things get done. Often we don't go and look for funding, we aren't approached for funding, and we do things at a huge financial cost to ourselves, to our families and everything. And I think the development agencies and all should start looking and saying, who are the change makers on the ground? These are the people that actually should have the funds put behind the projects and things that they're doing. A lot of money goes into, okay, government projects, into NGOs, etc., but they're projects. For me, for Vandana, for Bunker, these are not projects. These are lifelong commitments to creating change. And there, I think, is where, these are the things I'm learning right here, that there are a lot of people who want to see the change. And for me, that change is change where you're putting your money. Change where you can see things are actually changing. Yeah. I think that it's absolutely fantastic that the Bonn Global Conference for Transformation is happening. I am incredibly impressed that Germany is taking a stand to make the rest of Europe and the rest of the world see that this is incredibly important. I hope that it's not every 2 years, I hope that it's every 1 year, and I hope that other countries begin to copy and we start a snowball effect where this starts to create the great sustainable change we need to make in a very short future.